And there is Thielen.
Robinson hurting Lamada.
Put it in the hands of Dalvin Cook. This guy. Madison, and he's inside the 10.
We haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
This time to Ito Smith. Wow. And a throw to...
What up, Falcons Nation, Rise Up Nation? It's your boy, Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, no gimmicks. And I know I haven't made a video in a couple of days about this Vikings-Falcons game because I feel like people grieve losses in different ways. Some people like to get it out the way real quick and just say what's on their mind. I learned that, I kind of got a slick mouth, and if I say what's on my mind when I'm angry, I'm going to say some stuff I'm probably going to regret later, or I'm going to fly off the handle. So I've learned to take a day or two and sleep it off and come back and reset and see how I feel after a loss like that, man. Because that loss was like, have y'all ever been in a fight and a dude landed one so quick on you that like you wasn't even ready for it, and by the time you realize the damn fight's almost over and you're getting your ass kicked? That's kind of how I felt in this game. So that's why I'm not even going to do a good, bad, and ugly. I'm not going to do stats, any of that. I'm just going to sit here and hit on a few key points and just talk to y'all, Falcons Nation, about how y'all felt about this game. But before I do that, I kind of want to just talk about the state of the Falcons Nation in general. I know there's two sides to Falcons fans, and one side is like, hey, when we lose, let's throw the whole team in the garbage and hate on them. And then there's another side where it's like, no matter what we do, it's okay, everything's gonna be all right, pat on your back. I'm not gonna defend either or. I'm kind of more in the middle. When shit goes wrong, I'm gonna call it out, and I'm gonna say what's wrong, and I'm gonna say we suck, and I'm gonna say we got our ass kicked, and I'm gonna say we need to fix things. But at the same time, I have perspective. It's only week one. It's not time to throw the whole season away. As y'all remember, the Saints lost to the Buccaneers last year early in the season. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people said, oh, the Saints are done and Breeze is over the hill. And then they proceeded to go in the playoffs and make a run. So I'm not there yet, but at the same time, I'm not going to be naive to the flaws we have and say everything's going to be okay. And, it's all rainbows and sunshine. Like, I'm not like that. I'm more of a realistic person. So, but at the same time, what I wanted to say to Falcons Nation is that it is only 1 week, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell y'all how to root for your team, because I don't want someone telling me how to root for my team. I don't want someone telling me how to handle how we lose games. I'm a grown man. I can feel any way I want to feel about the game, and I can talk about any way I want to feel about the game. I just give me my opinion, and you can take it or you can leave it. My opinion is that it's only week one, and we still have tons of time to grow, tons of time to come back. Two other teams in our division lost. Obviously, the Saints won, but we still have tons of time to make up the ground. So the season's not over, but yeah, we did get our ass kicked. That's a fact, and we need to reset and come back because the Eagles ain't no joke. So a couple of points I want to get into this video. The first one is the turnovers. And I think that's where I felt like the game was over before it even started. The Freeman fumble. I know that there's a lot of people who are still on the Freeman train, but I said at the beginning of the season, before the season started, I said this was the year that Devontae Freeman is in my good graces for the one last year. After this year, all bets are off on him. We've given him so many chances. The missed block in the Super Bowl, the injury-prone list of injuries, his fumbles, lack of production dipping. there's a lot of things that point to Devontae Freeman, and it is starting to irritate me. And obviously in the red zone, we were trying to come back. He fumbled, and that cost us a potential 7 points off the board. So that's one. The Matt Ryan pick to Julio Jones, he was forcing it in triple coverage, and I'll get into it later why that part irritated me, but I felt like Matt was under duress, and he just wanted to try to get something off. He wanted to just try to get a spark, and we forced it way too early, too hard to Julio, and it cost us. The second pick by Matt Ryan, the one in the end zone, clearly he was trying to throw it out of bounds, and he just didn't throw it far enough. Obviously, that's no excuse, but people are saying that he was actually trying to throw to someone else open. No, he was not. He was clearly trying to throw out of bounds, and he didn't throw hard enough, and that dude made an amazing play to pick it off and toe tap for the interception. So that's a mistake I don't see Matt Ryan ever making again. I've never seen him do that, so I'm not worried about that one. And then obviously the block punt, Ryan Neesman missed his man on the block. Then our kicker got our block punt. That one killed us because they already scored, and we were just trying to punt the ball away to play defense to keep it even again. And then that gave them that short field again so they can score. We gave them short fields all first half, and it really came back to kill us. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we lost this game. The second point I want to touch on was the defense in general, but also the run defense. Obviously, we switched to a new scheme, so everyone wanted to see how we were going to do. I didn't think Dalvin Cook gashed just because of the scheme we were running. I think he gashed just because guys were out of their gaps and missing assignments. Tack McKinley miscontained twice, and he bit inside instead of staying on the outside contain. Guys were missing gaps, shooting the gaps. Linebackers were missed tackles, and I felt like there was a lack of hustle on some part. I saw a couple plays where it looked like Vic Beasley was like literally jogging to the ball. But also I think we just got manhandled. It seemed like we weren't ready, or we weren't enthusiastic enough about playing defense. Deion Jones, I believe he was out there trying his best. Grady Jarrett came to play. Keanu Neal was hitting hard again. But it didn't seem as a whole unit everyone had that same passion or fire to hit, and we got pushed around by that Vikings offense. So that's something we're definitely going to fix. Kirk Cousins didn't even have to throw for 100 yards. I believe he got like 98. So they killed us on the ground running. They barely didn't have to use their wide receivers. And if you look back on the other game, Kirk Cousins also had a low throwings game, but their running back still was hurting us. So McKinnon. So that's something we got to fix moving forward. The Eagles are a similar team. So I'll get back to that when I'm going to make a video later about the Eagles specifically. But as for right now, that's something we got to fix real quick. I know Dan Quinn was preaching fast, physical, fly to the ball, but I saw some physical. I didn't see quick enough, and I thought we got pushed around. That was not physical to me. So that's something we definitely got to fix. I also thought in the defense overall, a main theme I saw was that we let Kirk Cousins off the hook so many times. How many times did I see us hitting Kirk Cousins in his chops, laying him out? He fumbled the ball multiple times. We couldn't pick up the fumbles. They kept going right to Vikings players for recoveries. Every time it seemed like we hit Kirk Cousins and something good looked like it was about to happen, the Vikings caught a break, or they got a holding penalty, or we got a pass interference, and we kept Kirk Cousins' drives alive for him. It seemed like he didn't even have to keep the drives alive by himself. We helped him out. We gave him multiple first downs helping him. And the times where they punted away, we should have had turnovers on our side, and we didn't capitalize. So those are things that can cost you a game. And the first two quarters really, really hurt us and put us in a hole. And when you get in a hole versus the Minnesota Vikings, it is really hard to just start dropping back and chucking all over the field, because the Vikings defense, they're a legit defense. They got good pass rushers off the edge, And obviously they have Xavier Rhodes, who's a great corner, and gave Julio a hard time. So I felt like we kicked ourselves in the foot by getting behind down in distance and not making Kirk Cousins pay for all those hard hits. It seemed like we hit him really hard, but we didn't make him pay with the turnovers. And that's what cost us. So that's another point I was looking at in the game. Number 3, I would say my point is too little, too late. And what I mean by that is we took way too long to get into things that worked for us, that were successful for us. One of them being Austin Hooper. In the third quarter, all of a sudden, we started spreading it around and kept hitting Austin Hooper multiple times with targets, and no one was able to guard him. And the Vikings weren't figuring it out because they were too busy guarding, obviously, Julio, Sanu, and Ridley. And another reason, I believe it's a little too late, the use of Ito Smith. Freeman was clearly struggling. Even when he had holes, he wasn't breaking tackles. He looked hesitant, and obviously he fumbled the ball. When Ito came in, I felt like he gave us a shot in the arm, and he played a lot better in space, was catching the ball. One play, I even had in my intro video, he took the ball and he cut it back the other way, and he got a good positive run, things like that. And I felt like we took way too long to get Ito involved in the offense. The third person would be Calvin Ridley. Obviously, he caught the touchdown late, but it was probably too late already by then. We were already down like 28-0. Calvin Ridley and Sanu were almost MIA in this game, and I don't know why. Was it because we were trying to force the Julio too much, and it felt like we were trying to show the Vikings, hey, we're tough this year. Hey, we got new offensive linemen. Hey, we're going to run this football down your throat. And it seemed like we were forcing that instead of just playing our game, spreading it around, and letting the Vikings decide who they're going to cover and who they're not going to cover. And I think that played into the Vikings' hands, and it made it easier for them to stop us. So that's something we definitely got to fix. And then the final thing I want to say about this video is the play calling. I really didn't particularly care for Dirk Koetter's play calling in this game. I saw a lot of weak passes, weak screens behind the line. I understand that we're supposed to dink and dunk because it's the Vikings defense and the way they play. They keep everything in front of them and they don't get beat deep. But I thought that the way we played in the second half, spreading it out, like I said before, giving it to Hooper, giving it to Smith out of the backfield, getting Matt Ryan out, bootlegging him, not making him stationary, those things helped our offense, and I felt like I wish we would have done that a lot sooner than later. But obviously the turnovers put us in a hole, and we were behind the 8-ball game, so it was a rough start to bounce back from that. So that's something we should learn moving forward when we play other teams. We should try to spread it out earlier. Maybe throw to set up the run instead of run to set up the pass, because we don't have a power running back like a Zeke Elliott to establish the run first. Our team is obviously based on passing, so we should do that to open up the defense and then go to run. Maybe throw more screens in there and things like that. So some of the play calling, it irritated me. And I felt like we tried to be physical, but we just couldn't do it. Obviously, we found out later that Chris Lindstrom was playing with a broken foot. It was upsetting to see that Jake Matthews had such a bad game. Like I think it was like the first or second play of the game. I mean, he looked like a turnstile and completely just let a free blocker crush Matt Ryan. That's not something I see out of Jake Matthews, so I'm not worried that it's going to be like a theme, but that is concerning that a player of his caliber and his veteran in the league, he's making like a rookie mistake like that. I did think that Caleb McGarry held his own and he did a decent job for what he was given as a rookie. And I just think that we got to clean things up if we're going to get better, because obviously that was nowhere near the caliber of what we can play. I don't think we lost that game because of talent. I don't think we lost that game because the Vikings are so much more talented than us. I think we lost that game because we had horrible execution, turnovers, and we put them, which put us behind, and the defense kind of seemed uninspired. It seemed like we were getting frustrated. Freeman got frustrated out there. We got a bunch of penalties, and it seemed like we were jawing at other players because we were so salty that we were losing, and that's not something usually we see from our team. Usually we're a disciplined team, an upbeat team, and it seemed like we were kind of down the whole game. So that's something I need to see change moving forward. We're a more upbeat, fun, free-flowing offense, talking shit and having fun and a good time and doing our thing. So that's when we're at our best. So hopefully those are things we can remedy and move forward on. And I want to ask Falcons Nation, in the future, not this season, but in the future, do you think our schemes need to stay and just have another year with it or go through the season with it? Or do you think it's time to revamp the whole thing after this year or next year and go to a more traditional, bigger offensive line, bigger defensive line, bigger running backs type of team and stop with the smaller, fast, and physical? That's just something to, food for thought for the future. Falcons Nation, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to be posting a video later in the week of the Falcons versus Eagles preview. And then after that, I am going to give you my weekly picks of the week. It's funny because a lot of them I was almost dead ass accurate. I almost got the Baltimore Ravens game right on the money. So, but anyways, that's all I got for tonight. I apologize for the late video, but like I said before, I like to take time to think about what I'm gonna say, so I don't just sound like an idiot right off the cuff, right after the game, and I'm cussing and I'm going on, and I don't think that really helps us or Falcons Nation, and so I want to be wise before I open my mouth. So, anyways, that's my video. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and as always, Falcons Nation, we rise up. Now let's go get Philly. All right, peace.